Greetings, blade lovers. We got a special one for you today. This has been one I've waited for a little bit, made some decisions on, waffled back and forth, etc., etc., for all the same reasons that probably a lot of other folks did. Here we have a Microtech knife made in China. Let's get that out of the way right from the top. So they join the ranks of makers that we normally will buy from, such as Bestech, Riot, Civivi, and on, Petrified Fish, Damn Designs, and so forth. So whatever your political opinion is about this, and you can stop watching right now if you object to this, that's fine. But Tony Marfione went and had a very popular knife of theirs, almost the flagship knife for the out-the-side autos and manuals, the Microtech Socom, and he had it made by Rike Knives, a very well-known and respected manufacturer in China who makes their own brand. So here we have what is being called the Socom Bravo. And let's take a look at some of the similarities. Let's measure it up. Let's give it due consideration because it's a beautiful knife. Here's your box. Nicely decorated all the way around, like a Chinese gift box. And there is the label on it. Do a screenshot of that. That's the Microtech statement, as it were. So there are two versions of this currently available. One is the drop point and one is the Tanto. Let's unbox it and see what we got. So here is a fold-out brochure from Microtech. If you get one, you can read that at your leisure. Here we have, in a dense foam packing, the knife itself. And it is a beauty. I posted some videos and photos on Instagram. But before we open it up, let's take a look at some of the fantastic machining that was done and detailed work on this manual folder. It's a thumb stud opener, just like the original manual Socom. Same kind of thumb studs. You're going to see a lot of the same details are there. Overall profile of the handle and the blade. I'll compare them against a few other Socoms I have, and also show you a Rike knife of the same size, just so you can see some of the detail work they put on their own knives. So carbon fiber, titanium, and the blade of M390. One of the differences you're going to see is we've got a deeply cut out kind of well or trench here in the blade. Call it a fuller. We have blue pivot surrounds on this one. This is eventually going to come in a part serrated, full serrated, Tanto serrated, etc. And probably, and you're going to see different color pivot collars. There's going to be a brass or bronze pivot collar, they tell me, along with the blue that we have on this one. Again, one of two that are currently available. I'll put links in the description. You go send an email to online sales at microtech.com or microtechknives.com, And you'll correspond with some very helpful people who will set up the sale and invoice you and so on and so forth. Lanyard hole. Lock bar construction. Frame lock. Not yet that smooth. Hasn't been opened and closed that many times yet. This came in yesterday, as a matter of fact. Some great detailing there on the handle. Very nice quality carbon fiber. And may as well do a few quick measurements. Overall length of the knife is 9 1/8 inches. Blade length exactly to the bolster is 4 inches, with a cutting edge of about 3 7/8. Okay. I have a blade stock in millimeters. Let's grab it right up near the thumb studs. 4.7 millimeters. So it's thick stock, almost a 5 millimeter blade. And if any of these are different from the manufacturer's specs, I'll alter them when you see the text pop up on the screen. I'm going to grab this at the middle part of the handle, and we get 0.86 inches. So it is a wide knife, but doesn't feel it. Let's grab it at the bolster, and we get a little less there, 0.55. So it does swell out a little bit right in the center, and you can see that it is a heavily contoured handle by virtue of the millwork that's done in the G10, or not G10, carbon fiber. Now, let me go run and get the scale. You can look at that while I do so. Not sure why I always put these things off to the side, but limited space on the tabletop. What can I tell you? Let's get it steady. I have kind of a textured background here, which occasionally throws the scale off a little. 5.68, call it 5.69 ounces. So almost a 5.7 ounce knife. A little lighter actually than I thought. But there she be. And let's bring out, I only have the auto version of the Socom. So there we have the Tonto auto version. Not a direct comparison, but you can see, let's put them down here. Some of the similarities, some of the differences in the handle at any rate. Got a glass breaker obviously here. We do not have one on the Socom Bravo. And we have the same exact length knife. A little hard to see because it's a blacked out grind on the auto. And the auto has the granular kind of rubberized inserts and so forth. Put that aside for a second. Here is a drop point auto that was customized. The little wheeling and dealing and trading with BJ Hill. And he had stripped this down to the bare aluminum and put in, I believe, cocobolo wood inserts. Kind of a neat job. And the blade had been reground to be hollow by someone from a well-known knife manufacturer. And some of that detailed information escapes me, but there is a comparison, a better comparison of blades between the Auto drop point and the Socom Bravo. You can see where they added the fuller here, and you have a very small flat here between the swedge and the main grind of the blade. Otherwise, profiles are very similar. Okay. Now, a further comparison. Here is a Rike M2. It is a large knife, and you can see some similarities, not at all in the design, but in the workmanship, and some of that detailed milling work on this Rike M2. Radically different, you know, with the cutouts and the cutout in the blade, the pseudo tanto sort of profile to the blade, but same manufacturer. And this has a 5mm blade stock on it, slightly thicker even than the Socom Bravo. I'll do another tour around. If a lot of you are on the fence about this knife, I have to say, for $3 1/4, and that's not cheap, it is a beautiful knife to add to the collection, particularly if you are collecting Microtechs. Edge, by the way, is pretty incredible. I'm not going to do any cutting tests, but it is a very fine, grabby edge. And that's as much as I'll say. Really nice work there on the thumb studs. This rests up on the thumb studs as far as I know. No internal stop pin. So very similar to what you're seeing here as far as that thumb ramp goes. We're almost a little wider on this knife right here. Let's see. So if we go way out here, we got a 0.61. Let's make sure that's correct. Grab it right in there. Yeah, 0.61. And on the Bravo, right about there. I really hope my, yeah, I'm zeroed. Let's try this again. Yeah, we got just about a 1/2 inch at the bolster. And again, you broaden out in the middle of the handle. So as I was saying, beautiful piece, really beautiful piece. Keeping with the original design in many, many respects. Change of materials, carbon fiber. And this is sort of associated with the Marfione Customs because it is a collaboration. Although it's a factory-produced knife, it is definitely a precision-made, almost custom iteration of the Socom, Microtech Socom, I was going to say. Lots of detail, as I've been saying. Nicely ramped clip. Single screw, milled out in the carbon fiber for the clip, so it's not going to go to that side. And big difference, as you can see, is that on the US made version of at least the auto and the manual, as far as I know. You got the clip on the pivot side. A lot of people have objected to that over the years. Here we have the clip on the pommel side. So also about an inch protruding out. Definitely not deep carry. And not transferable to the left side. Real quick comparison. Griptilian, smaller knife. Rat 1. Smaller knife by a bit. So yeah, it is a large 4-inch, 9-inch, 4-inch blade, 9-inch overall knife, as we've come to know from the Socoms. All right, well, don't want to go too long here. You'll have plenty to scan around. Hopefully you'll sip some coffee and see this from beginning to end. I hope you enjoyed it. Lovely knife. And then again, you make the decision on, which way you want to go with this. This Old Sword, signing out. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe.